My name is Anthony Nicella. I'm with Save the Kids and I'm a professor in education and peace and conflict studies. And I really focus a lot around environmental justice issues and youth justice and hip hop work. And so hopefully some of the activities you'll be seeing today are useful.
Hi, I'm Kim Socha. I've been with Save the Kids since 2011, and the activities that you're going to see I've done in the juvenile detention centers, jails, and also in the classroom because I teach college level English, so these activities can be used for a variety of different purposes.
Save the Kids has a few ground rules, and these are ground rules that you can put up on a board, a dry eraser, or on a piece of paper, so the participants can know the ground rules. And you can say that at the beginning of every every workshop or session or training, and they typically are this. KISS, keep it short and sweet. Volunteer yourself only. No put downs, even in a joking way, even of yourself. Vegas, whatever said here stays here. Respect everybody in the circle. And no bad language or oppressive language. So no B word or N word or the R word. And keep it, keep everything appropriate, and try to keep positive. And you can volunteer for any activity you want. And if you want to just kind of step out of an activity, that's fine too. Our first activity is called colors, and for obvious reasons. We're going to throw a bunch of colors on the floor, and this is what you can do, and you can let the kids do this, or adults or participants do it, and they'll be all over. And you can do it in your classes or whatever you want. So we're going to do 3 examples really quick, and if you want to do something around social justice, you can pick one term and then go around in a big circle. It could be 5 people, 2 people, a number of people. And if you want to do it with your child at home, you say, okay, let's pick a color that represents, you can start with a really simple one like summer. So we'll pick a color that represents summer to you, and I'll begin. So I'll begin, really short and brief. Everyone will go around, and I picked green because it represents growth and youthfulness, and playing in the grass and on a hill, and I think that's why I picked green.
And I picked green as well for a slightly different reason maybe. I live in Minnesota, and it's a very special time when the snow finally melts and we can actually see the green again, and I like being out in nature and taking walks, so I always think of the abundance of nature, which made me think green.
Okay, so once we do that, you can allow the participants to come up with a term or concept, or you can just go again until they get the hang of things. So we'll go with another color, something that represents justice to you. So a color that represents justice. So some issues that you don't want to talk about with youth, which I found out, working in a lot of different detention centers, are sometimes you don't want to talk about specific people and families. Like, pick a color that represents your father or your mother or your brother or your or your family or your uncle. It might actually trigger something, or they might actually be in the detention center or incarcerated for something that's related to them that's not the best experience. So try to keep it really broad and social rather than kind of personal. And so what we'll pick is 2 more, and strategically what we're going to do is pick one that is really deep, and then another one, because we want to keep everyone on a transformative approach, kind of on an upbeat, rather than leaving them in a very deep space. And so we'll begin this one with a color that represents violence to you. And then we're going to end this activity, like all activities that are about dialogue, on a more holistic, upbeat. So we'll say one thing that a color that represents something that's joyful or that you like doing. So an activity or something that you like doing, a color that represents that thing. So for example, basketball or soccer, but it has to be appropriate. So we typically say that in the detention centers have to be appropriate. So a lot of the kids, because they're growing boys and growing girls, but mostly boys, are going through sexual things. So they might talk about, females or smoking weed or etc. So we kind of steer them in a they know what appropriate means. So we'll typically, at the end of the activity, we'll ask everyone to clap. So we'll just clap. So we'll go on to the next activity. So thanks so much. So we're on to our next activity, and you can have the participants doing this in a variety of ways, and we typically get the sweaters that we get from detention centers, and we get, we typically have around 8 to 15 youth, and we get them to wrap a cloth around their eyes so they can't see. And so it's about trust building and listening skills, and a variety of other skills. So I'm going to close my eyes, and Kim is going to take me through this maze, and this activity is called quicksand. And so I have to get through this maze without putting my foot on any of the white index cards. And you can use index cards, you can use pieces of paper, you can rip them up, you can put a variety of things through it. And so this activity a lot of the youth like, and there's a variety of ways we can do it. And you can put chairs in the middle to make it a little bit more difficult, or they have to sit down in the chair. So we're going to do it really simple, and so I'll close my eyes. So
Okay.
you can begin.
So we want to get you just so I'm clear across that way.
That way.
Okay, so put your right foot in, over to the right more. Okay, put it down. Now do the same with your other foot.
The left foot.
With your left foot. Yeah, put it down right there. Okay, now get your right foot and go about 5 inches and put it down. Go slowly, no, not there. Straighter ahead. Yes, you.
Youth, as well as any participant adults, like to cheat, and kind of because they don't trust, and this is the whole idea. So they kind of open their eyes every so often, or if they don't feel confident in giving directions, they actually move the index card, and they don't want the other participant to fail too. So I didn't go all the way back, but the goal of it is not to go all the way back, but just to try to get to avoid the index cards as much as possible. So that's that one. Thank you so much. So this is called Laser Field, also Mission Impossible, for obvious reasons if you've seen the movie Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise. So what we're going to do, and the kids love it, is similar like quicksand. I'm going to have my eyes closed, and Kim will have to get me through this laser field without looking at it. So you might need to crawl, or you might need to jump over things, whatever you need to do. And you might have bells on the tape, or you might have yarn, so you don't use masking tape over and over again. So a lot of the times we just have a big thing of yarn and we just kind of tape off onto the chairs. Most detention centers have nice little plastic chairs that you can use, and we use those all the time. You can make this really long, or this size. I wouldn't make it any shorter. Sometimes what we do is have the quicksand before this, so it's like this long, never-ending maze, which is really fun, and then we do a quicksand afterwards. So the youth are, or adults and participants are busy a lot of the time. So we'll begin with laser view. So I'm going to close my eyes. Tim will have to direct me through this whole thing.
Okay, we'll watch the thing on the floor. Okay, so walk toward your left. No, toward your left, towards me. On your knees, because you're going to want to go under, but go very slowly. Okay, now kind
So what we're going to do now is another activity, again, about trust and following directions and listening skills. It's called the maze, and you typically have to have chart paper or a dry eraser for those environmentalists. And I have this maze right here, and I've got to make Kim draw this maze, and you can do stars, you can do straight lines, are a little easier for people, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell her to draw that on the board, and that'll be the activity. So
my eyes will be closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her eyes will be closed. You can do it with her eyes open too, because you won't be able to see it, but it's a little, more, difficult, and you get another sense going with listening. So what we're going to do is just turn her near the board. Right, perfect. And you can put down your marker. Right there, perfect. And go down 4 inches. And now go over 5 inches. Left.
Let's try.
Stop. Now go down until I tell you to stop.
Can I see the comparison?
So the comparison is, she did all of it, and just, she got a little frustrated, which a lot of participants do, and at the very end, they're just like, whatever. They forget their left limb and their right, and their eyes are closed. So, that was the maze. It's a really fun activity, and sometimes, if you have a theme on trust, these are 3 activities that are really good. So, thank you so much.